Hello, hello, and well, this is still Division 2. It's finally here, the beta, that is at least. And today we're just going to do a simple overview of what's in stock in the beta at the moment. I just want to quickly go over the 5th Panzer Division. Nothing really too long. I mean, we've already seen the Russian tank division in Eugene's video. And then we're just going to play a solo match of Breakthrough. Mainly I want to show off the defensive structures, as the defensive structures are implemented really well. They're really cool. But nonetheless, let's just get right to it. So currently in the beta there's only 2 divisions, that is being 5th Panzer and the Guards Tank Corps, 2nd Guards Tank Corps. And we pop into 5th Panzer. The deck building system in Steel Division 2 is really bloody good. I think it's a huge improvement over heck SD44 and War Games deck building systems. At the moment you have 4 different income types. Balanced is pretty balanced in general. Vanguard is more A-B phase focused, Maverick is very B phase focused, and Juggernaut has an absurd amount of C phase income. Right now Juggernaut is pretty much the meta income to go for in the Guards Armor Division, or I should say the Russian Division. It's only one Russian division at the moment, has the same exact income options. Whether it's going to be the same for every single division, or is this like the template for tank divisions, who knows. Activation points is 50 points, same with the Russian division. Don't know if that's just going to be the baseline 50 for every division or just for tank divisions in general. So just want to quickly go through all the tabs in this and just show you how the 5th Panzer Division looks like. In terms of recon, it's all pretty standard stuff. You got light vehicles, you got the BMW, you got some infantry, pretty standard stuff, and also some tanks, Panzer IV, as well as a Panther recon tank. Yep, a Panther recon tank. In terms of how you pick the phase and the veterancy and how you get your units, is honestly really cool and intuitive. So for example, we could take 5 of these 1-star veterancy autocannon half-track recon vehicles in A phase, or 9 in B, or drop in 14 in C. Right now your C phase availability it's quite crazy. The force multiplier on some C phase cards gets a little bit ridiculous in my personal opinion. But it's really cool how you can mix and match. You can pretty much turn this division. Like 5th Panzer Division has got like a bunch of Panzers and Tigers and heavy tanks and whatnot. If this was like SD44, this would probably be like Panzerlera. It's very B phase, C phase, heavily focused. But you can build this division and also the Russian division to be either A phase focused, B phase focused, or C phase focused, especially with the deployment types and also the veterancy units you can get and what phase you get. I mean, right now C phase is really the way to go, just because of how long matches go on for. But it's really cool. It's really bloody cool, the options that you can go with Steel Division 2. In terms of infantry, the German infantry is pretty much the same as an SD44. You got a lot of options: Pioneers, Pioneers, all of that good stuff. A to B phase, all sorts of veterancy. You can also choose a transporter infantry coming. So this is for like a 10-man infantry squad. You can pick between half-tracks or cheap trucks with machine guns, as well as regular unarmed trucks. And it's just like SC-44. If it's an unarmed vehicle, it costs 0 points and it disappears once you unload the unit. But if we look at a smaller infantry squad, you have a bit more options, such as the Schwimmwagen, as well as an AT half-track, which is pretty damn cool, I have to say. And you got a limited amount of tracks. Of course, some like his KFZ 770, you have pretty much an infinite amount. But with half-tracks and other special vehicles, you have a very limited amount to give out, so you got to be very smart in how you deploy them. And of course, you'd usually want to give your A-phase infantry units and recon units, etc., fast transport, so you can get to the front line faster. And then being C phase, maybe think about getting some, just regular tracks, something a bit more plentiful. Or maybe, bring out the anti-tank gun half track, because why the hell not? Why the hell not? Tanks, it's Panzers, Tigers, Panthers galore. It's pretty much your standard German Jew. with lots of tanks, and you can get quite a ridiculous amount of these heavy tanks. For example, the Sea Phase Tigers, you can get 8 of them per card of 1-star veterancy, which is that's a lot of Tigers. And same with the Panthers. Like the Panther Gs, you can get like a decent, only 4, but it's just like a pretty advanced tank compared to the Tiger. And the Panther, yeah, same, only like 4. So the Tiger's pretty a little bit out of rack. Support, finally machine guns are in the support tab, which makes so much bloody sense. And machine guns are really good because they have pretty long range. Everything has longer range. Like one of the major key things is that pretty much every single tank has 2-kilometer range. So it's not like SD-44 or heck even Wargame, where a Tiger's going to be able to shoot a Sherman and the Sherman can't fire back. Now, if you're a crappy little T-34, you can fight back against a Tiger. You're probably not going to pen if you're T-34-76, but at least you can shoot back. That does make sense. And just having a blanket 2-kilometer range definitely makes it rather easy to keep track of. Yeah, the autocannon only has the 1-kilometer range, which makes sense. Big up Flam Panzers, Grills, Flamethrower Troops. You also have this new feature, the Commanders, which are in the support tab. They're kind of like CVs in a sense from Wargame, apart from the fact that they don't capture. Actually, completely different than CVs. To be entirely honest, now I think about it. They buff your leader unit, so you have a chain of command on the field, and if you have a leader unit connected, I think it's like 1 to 1.5 kilometer range of the commander unit, the leader unit now give +2 veterancy bonuses instead of +1. It's a little bit too good, that +2 veterancy bonus, because there's pretty much no reason to get a 2-star veterancy, baseline 2-star veterancy unit if you can just get a 1-star veterancy unit. Let's say in this example you get either 9 2-star or 12 1-star, and you could pretty easily just buff these 1-stars into 3-star veterancy just as easy as a 2-star. It's a little bit silly at the moment, but it's something that's gonna be balanced out eventually. Anti-tank, not really much to talk about here. Panda Strikes, Martyrs, some pack guns, Pack 36s. Pretty standard stuff. These two AT guns aren't exactly that great, as you're really only fighting T-34s against the current wrestling division, so you don't have a plethora of more suitable targets to shoot at. Anti-air's pretty standard, pretty much works the same as in SD-44. Artillery is really cool. One of the major differences now is proper field guns, such as this 105mm howitzer, has infinite range. It can shoot over the entire map. The problem with that, however, is that it loses accuracy the farther out it's shooting, unless it has an artillery observer or a leader unit, aka a unit with a radio, and as you can see here, the radio icon. Also, leader units act the same way. And essentially they have a kind of like a 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer aura around them, kind of like with off-map artillery units. And if an artillery unit aims within that aura, the artillery will be accurate. Pretty standard stuff. So these guys and leader units are very important, as they make your artillery actually able to hit stuff. You also can get leader units in the artillery tab, same with the Western Division, which is definitely interesting. If, you just need some extra leaders and you don't have much artillery, maybe just throw in a battery Fuhrer. Why not? And it's like a 10-man leader squad too, which is definitely rather interesting. Mortars still have limited range, but it's, 3 kilometers, that's pretty generous for an 81mm mortar. You can hit rather far away with one of these bad boys, so it's not all out bad really. And they still have the same mechanics like with ST-44 artillery, where if you have visual sight on the enemy, you'd get a corrected shot. There's also off-map as well, but the current division's off-map isn't really all that great. There's no naval artillery example. Heck, it's not even like railway guns for the German division, so you're just usually better off just using the more standard on-map artillery, especially the Hummel now, because the Hummel is pretty big gun. And you can shoot all the way across the map, just like an off-map artillery. You're not limited by range whatsoever. Airplanes, there's a 10-point recon plane. That's pretty cool. It's nice and cheap. It's not that great, but heck, you got it. As well as a DO-217. You got some fighters, you got some strafing planes. You got a crap ton of Stukas that you can get if you want to reenact the Blitz. It's alright. It's pretty cool. I do like his DO-217 as his night fighter version with all the radar things, but you're not using it for night fighting SD2. You're using it to strafe targets with 10 goddamn machine guns. That's a lot of MGs. Overall, the deck building system, it's really good. I love what they've done with it so far. I do want to show an example of an actual deck that I built earlier, Blue Peter style, so we've got battle groups. As you may guess, this division has a lot of tigers. The reason being, why not? Why not? It's pretty much it. Just want to see how many tigers I could put in a division reasonably instead of using panthers, because we all know the tiger is much better than the panther. If the Germans built more tigers, they probably would have run the war. But nonetheless, it's all pretty standard stuff. We've got panic grenadiers. I'm using mostly half tracks for the pioneers between tracks because I only have a limited amount of half tracks. Oh, in this case, I didn't really have a limited amount. I just wanted something a bit cheaper for the pioneers. Flamethrower tracks, a bit of resp artillery. Nothing really too fancy. And in terms of defenses, I forgot to go over it when I was a little bit earlier. But defenses, currently for divisions, is 4 different options. You have the barbed wire, you have trenches, you have machine gun bunkers, and then gun pits, which is where you can put artillery guns and anti-tank guns and all that good stuff in. So I think that's enough of going over the deck building system so far. I'm going to go in it more in depth when the game actually comes out and do the pretty much the singular division overviews and deck building guide once SD2 comes out. It is. But for now, let's just play the goddamn game. So we are going to be playing Breakthrough, be playing as the Germans. As right now, we're going to be defending, as I want to serve the defensive structures, route attack. We're going to set the duration to medium. One of the interesting things currently in the beta is that there is no there's no time limit at all. When I receive once we launch the game, everything's good. There's only 2 maps. Also, there's a smaller map in Vidibsk East is the bigger map. So without further ado, let's just launch this bloody game. Pretty nice loading screens, nice and artistic, and off to the races we go. So breakthrough mode is pretty similar to how SC44's breakthrough mode is. The major difference is that there's no longer specific breakthrough decks. Where in SC44, you had decks specifically made for breakthrough mode, and it had the whole structured income where you get a big chunk of points in every 10 minutes or so. Here, it's just, you just use a regular deck. There's nothing really too fancy about it. The advantage to the attackers, however, is that they get double the income in A phase, and then 1.5 times income in B phase, and in C phase they just get their regular income. So it makes it nice and easy. You can pretty much use any deck in breakthrough mode. I'm still gonna guess, yeah, if you are, planning pre-breakthrough mode, you're gonna want to have a specialized deck whether you're attacking or defending. Because if you're attacking, for example, in breakthrough mode, you're not exactly gonna be wanting to take anti-tank guns in your division. That's just gonna be a race to slots. You're gonna want to take more mobile, and vice versa. If you're playing defensive, you're probably going to take a bunch of AT guns or play a more defensive division for the mode. So nonetheless, if we zoom in, it's kind of hard to see the capture points. It's really quite badly colored compared to the frontline system. But essentially, we have 24 flags to hold. We have to hold on to at least over half of them for roughly 30 minutes or so. If we do that, we win. So this isn't a huge map. I'd say this is a 1v1, 2v2 map. I can't exactly really say. And also the map is completely symmetrical. If this was a conquest mode, as you see here, the map, it's pretty much completely symmetrical. There's a few differences here and there, but for the most part, all the major landmarks and whatnot yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice. I like it personally, as, I mean, some of the asymmetrical maps in Steel Division 44 are good. But there are also another bullshit maps like Samont Levant, where one side had a really good defensible forest, Sherwood Forest, and the other side had an open field, and good luck trying to attack over that open field into the forest. Whether all the maps are going to be symmetrical, who bloody knows. The other map showcased in the beta so far is a symmetrical map as well. But I like it for the most part. I really do. It really stops any arguments of, oh, your division, you only won that match because you got the good side of the map. You know, now it's less of case. So let's stop rambling. Let's actually deploy some units. So we're going to deploy defensive structures first. Now, we're going to be a bit sneaky and we're going to put our machine gun bunker in this lightly dense forest. This is also the LRS tool. The LRS tool is pretty good now, as it actually works with elevation, as you can tell. It does work a bit slower compared to SD44 because it is working with elevation. It's good for the most part. I don't find it to be entirely accurate. When you go into, I want to go to a town for example, it doesn't exactly show all the accurate sight lines. It's a little bit wonky just due to the defined edges, but it's for the most part it's good. It's good. So for the bunker, we're gonna place run right. If I can actually place it properly, we're gonna place run right here, and as you see, it shows the arc of fire, and pretty much it's a nice ambush position. So when they come to the hill, they're gonna taste a lot of, well, 8mm cuts. And if we think of a second run, we could probably put it here. There we go. And our like out position, just like so. And we're just going to replace them in our defensive strong points. The cool thing about all these defensive structures is that you can really approach your defense multiple ways. We could do a defense in depth strategy where we try to set up multiple lines of defense. In this case, we're going to be a bit lazy and a bit cocky. We're only fighting medium AI, so we're just going to put everything on the front line, and there's going to be no step back. But German in this case. You also can't put them in roads or tree lines or buildings, obviously, because that would be a little bit silly. Up here, we're going to put another machine gun bunker, just like so. And then we'll put another run over here. We really want this place to be a kill zone. And then replace our last one in this forest. I like putting them more in CQC areas, in ambush positions. I find it much better than having them just slap bang in the open, as you can just get artillery or shot at by tanks. So this is only a machine gun bunker at the end of the day, can't exactly do much. Now we get to the trenches, and the trenches in barbed dryer work flawlessly. I'll show you once we actually start up the match, but trenches are pretty much defenses you can put anywhere for the infantry, and barbed dryer slows stuff down. It's really good. So we're going to put a bit of barbed dryer here. And we're also going to put a bit of barbed wire. I wanted to put it here, but we're probably going to lose this point, to be entirely honest. So we're just going to put, like so. Yeah, there we go. This is a pretty good defensive strong point here. This whole compound, as we can see, gives us a lovely field of view. So we're going to put barbed wire. Wanted to put it across the entire road, but that's not going to happen. So we put it on our side of the road at least. And it's pretty intuitive how the barbed wire system or just defensive system works. If I hold down shift, I can do multiple commands like so. And here we go. We've got a lovely barbed wire defense, and that is absolutely sexy. I just have to say, it's really sexy how it works. Now for trenches, I'm trying to think of a good place. Probably put a trench. Probably put another strong point here, like so, just to try and slow down the enemy a bit. We don't have too much barbed wire left, so maybe some in front of the machine gun bunkers, just to slow the enemy down. Choke point the enemy over here, and it's really cool. This whole barbed wire system. It really makes you think more strategically. Put some over here to stop infantry from just rushing into that building. That's a good point. Oh, it's very tight. Oh, it's very tight. Oh, it doesn't work in elevation, of course. That makes a lot of sense in hindsight. Arrow just put some in front of this town here. We only have 51 meters of barbed wire left, and boom. In terms of trenches, we'll put a trench What I like to do is I like to try to connect trenches between towns. So we're going to put a trench here. So if we have a bunch of infantry in this forest and we need to relocate them over here, they can just run through the trench, across the road, and boom, they're already in the town over here. And we're going to set this trench line here to the town, and we're pretty much using them as a nice little highways. Of course, if you try to do it Road War 1 style and do it zigzaggy, like it doesn't really give you much benefit. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work like that as far as I know. But it's pretty cool what you can do trenches. So we'll put another on. I don't really need one here because we're going to use this as front lines. We don't really need too many trenches on this map anyway to begin with. Maybe we'll put one behind the machine gun bunker and just keep an MG squad, yeah. And maybe over here as well, needs to be like a second line of defense for our troops. And yeah, and finally we'll put one here, just as a fallback line, essentially. Let's finally deploy some infantry. See, breakthrough does take you a little bit to get everything set up. Fortunately, not playing against natural players, so they're not going to be like, why are you taking so long? Because we're trying to explain everything to you guys at home. We're going to take a flamethrower half track. Flamethrower half track isn't really that good anymore. It has 100 meter less range and no machine guns. I still have a soft spot for it in my heart, so we're taking it. We're taking it. I don't have. We're going to take the commander out, and we're going to try to put him somewhere centrally along the map, like here, for example. And we're going to try and set up a decent command line. So that should connect, and that should connect. And then if we put this guy over here, that should connect. We're going to put an 8. I'm actually going to put a big stonking tiger up here instead. Over here we're going to have a panther. No, panther? No, Panzer IV. If I was a panther, it'd be a little bit silly. I like this, pretty much this division. Just putting such troop everywhere in the forest, because the Russian division is really good in forest combat. It's quite ridiculous how good they are in forest combat. I do feel like pretty stretched down points. Those machine gun bunkers do take out quite a bit of resources. So we're going to get a last tiger and put them over here to cover that road. It does mean our middle is very exposed. It is extremely exposed, actually. So we're just going to use 2 Panzer IVs instead. We'll have one over here. Get some Panzer Grenadiers to hold this area. I don't have any recon, and you're probably saying, Ray, don't you have any recon? Well, we're going to get some recon now. So, here we go. Here we go. That's pretty much as good as it's going to get. I know it seems a bit weird having the leader units here, but the reason being is we're trying to set up the command chain. So, let's see how that looks. So if we click here, so as we can see, these two are connecting, but as you see, you have to be within like 1.2 kilometers or whatnot to get up that command chain, and it's really important to get up that command chain. I think in B phase I take some more leaders so we can get that rev up nice and running. And yeah, it's going to be 32 minutes for us to actually get the victory. We're just going to move some of that SS trooping around. Machine gun bunkers in good position. So leader units, especially on a mode like this, or having like 2 commander units would be pretty damn good. I also don't have any artillery, which isn't beneficial, but also we're very much C phase income, as you can tell. So that's the kind of ridiculous our C phase income. We have to get like 1.5 times income, I believe, in C phase, and yeah, they got 1.5, 1.5. Because they have the same income structure, but they just get a little bit of bonuses because they are on the attack. So we did lose that hill here, but that was a calculated loss. Wink, wink. Let's get in. I was gonna say we get a bloody. Let's get some Pack 4, just some small AT guns. The Pack 36s are no longer. I mean, they're still pretty terrible. Let's be honest. But because they have the 800 meter range on the heat ammunition, they're still not bad. Unfortunately, however, is units don't automatically switch between the ammunition. So it's currently a bug at the moment. Turret got struck. Yeah, it's not entirely good, so we're going to move that back. And as you may notice, there are more criticals in in Steel Division 2 now. Turret can get stuck, your loader can be killed, damaged, whatever. There's more things that can go wrong with your units, is what I'm trying to say. Tiger's in position, and that's pretty much a perfect spot for the Tiger, actually. And the Tigers are pretty powerful. They're really bloody powerful. I want to see if we can get the lead. We're not going to have the command chain to do that, unfortunately. I could probably get like a Panzer IV here instead of that command chain, but I don't think that's going to be... I'd rather do it with our cheaper Panzer Grenadiers. We do need to get some anti-airs. That plane is strafing the hell out of us, and that is stressing me out. Or stressing my Panzer IV out, to be more accurate. Machine gun bunker. Already pinned down that guard squad. We've got T-34. 85 moving up. They're going to have a lot of T-34s. It is the Russian division, of course. Just bloody T-34 spam, essentially. And now we definitely need to focus more on our anti-tank in the current state. Now, it's not to push through the forest. Yeah, as that's trooper, I'm not going to win against that engagement. So we're just going to move our Earth's trooping back a bit. Actually preserving our units. Could get an airplane, try and fight that off. Yeah, it's probably caught it in a little bit too late. Probably maybe should have saved up for another Tiger tank for defense. Currently, right now, like the German heavy tanks are really bloody good. They're really bloody good to get. Tiger is engaging that guard squad, but we really need them to engage this these T-34s rushing up, because that is not good at all. That's really not good. It's going to be a little bit ballsy. We're probably going to lose the Tiger. Yeah, that was definitely silly. I knew that was silly to begin with, but we're going to get another Tiger. We got lots of Tigers in this division. And see, an open ground engagement, redo win pretty easy peasy. And as you see now, planes even get critical hits. Messerschmitt 410 has radiator overheating. I can't actually select it, which is kind of an annoying bug because I want to get him to get out of here. But he's a rogue agent. Okay, our commander unit is safe. The turret's stuck, so it can still work as a tank. It just has a as you can see when you zoom in, the turret's stuck in that position. I do think we have to get a resupply unit to save it, yo. But this isn't good. This is not good at all. This entire town area fallen under enemy control. Being strafed by the Yak. I don't have any AT grenades, so we're just gonna run away for now. Pop some smoke. Oh no. Oh no. Well, Tiger's moving up. And he should get to the front line. You see the bunkers, once they get spotted, they're pretty much dead, as they can't really do too much. I mean, you can't really do too much to a tank if you only have an MG42. But yeah, here's the horde of T-34s coming down. And we're going to another Panzer IV, and we're going to get 2 Panzer IVs. We really just need all the armor we can muster at the moment. Too bad I don't have any A-phase Panic 40s. And yeah, this is really the... Oh god. Oh god. I hope we don't have AT grenades. It's not an ideal place for a Tiger. We're going to do the same stupid thing again and go around the corner of the Tiger. And hope for the best. And they're just going to charge. Is the Tiger gonna shoot its gun, yo? Oh no, the T-34 is getting very close. Very, very close. Transmission damage, but we got the loader on that T-34. We need to get the Panda Grenadier up, and there we go. I mean, the transmission damage, that's no big deal. It's a German tank. The transmission always gets buggered. And that 76 is going to have a very hard time penetrating us. And, okay, there we go. So, it's not going too bad at the moment. Yo, our Tiger being slow is not good. And see, we just lost our chain of command by losing that area. Probably get our last Panzer IV. We just need all the tanks over here. I mean, this is very much more B phase, C phase focus division, so that's right. We don't really have too much in the current A phase. But once we deal with this Panzer, well, T-34 nonsense, we should be in the clear. It's a little bit ballsies in the half track. But it's very interesting how there's no time limit at all. This match could theoretically go on forever, in a sense. Especially some Conquest matches if it's completely even Stevens. Currently, the current countdown is a little bit too low. Like as we saw earlier, it's like 33 minutes to win if we hold all the points, and it won't change until they capture trophy points, and then it'll be another 33-minute countdown for them to win, which is that's a little bit too long, I think. Flag 33 is getting completely artilleried. Right now, artillery is it's a little bit too good at the moment. It's a little bit too powerful. Definitely does need to be toned down just a bit, quite a bit, I'd say. Panzerbeutler, get over here. I mean, there's not the best AT guns in the world. And, oh, our Tiger got bailed out. I really want to get our Panda Grenadiers into this church here. But we're taking fire. The longer ranges of tanks is still throwing me off quite a bit. Especially in some line of sight angles. Because it's rather surprising who and what can get hit sometimes. And we are gonna Panzerfaust yet? Come on. No, we got the recon unit instead. We got T-34s getting into, or Panzerfaust getting into position, shooting the T-34s. And look, bunker killed that thing. That's cool. There's an AT gun. By God, I can't wait for the BB phase. I can't wait for the BB phase. We really do not have much. Once we get the B phase there, we got 4 Tigers that we can get, which is a lot of Tigers. We're gonna lose our Panzer IV, but we are still winning. If they get up to trophy flags, then we're gonna be in some deep shit. But for now, we're doing good. We're doing fine. They're actually gonna be flanking us over here a bit, which kind of sucks. So let's relocate our flamethrower half track to help with that. We're on B phase now, thank God. So it's Tiger time. We're gonna load the Panzerbeutler over here. We should really get a supply truck and get this Panzer IV out, because it's kind of been sitting there doing bugger all this entire match. After our first uneventful engagement. Let's turn off the HE ammo on both of these guys. I do need to get some fire support over here. Do I have any cheap fire support? I could get the flamethrower half track, but it doesn't exactly have long range. We'll get a Panzer Shrek over here. You see, the wrong problem with just taking Tigers in this meme deck is I got the machine gun 42, so that'd be a really good choice. Yeah, we don't really have any other Panzer IVs, or I didn't really take an autocannon half track. But that's just how I built the deck. This is a bit of a joke deck. It's not entirely serious play. Let's just move Panzer IV on the edge, yeah. I like to live life on the edge. Yeah, see, our Panzer forces are doing pretty good. We just need to retake his town. That is our main priority. So let's get some pioneers up. And we are going to be able to shut this area down. I want to get a Pack 36 into a good position. And still need to deal with this bloody breakthrough. Massive Soviet breakthrough. Let's get a Tiger over here. He can cover this angle of approach. And moving our Panzer Strike. The Panzer Strike does have the paratrooper thing, even though they're not technically paratroopers. It's just like an SD-44, right if they're behind enemy lines, they don't take any extra morale damage. That's interesting. I'd say currently at the moment, in the current beta, half-tracks are no longer as brokenly powerful as an SD-44. Half-tracks can be extremely pivotal. I mean, you all remember just half-track rushes and what you could do, just roleplay half-tracks. Now, half-tracks just kind of get killed because everything has long range. The maps are much more open. They're no longer exactly bee's knees, even though they are like half the price now. Like half-tracks only 10 points each one compared to the 20 points they were in SD-44. It's not entirely necessary. Now we do have these more leader units, so let's take advantage of that and let's set up our command chain and get it up and running. And once we have a nice line across the entire map, we should be I was about to say raping in, but that's not exactly the case, but reaping a bunch of high-star veterancy in our units. As three-star units, just like an SD2 or 44, they're nuts. They go to town on stuff, to put it lightly. Let's get some infantry over here. I haven't even really taken advantage of our trenches. We did get some more infantry there, however. I'd say let's move our set trooping in the trench. No, is that trench or was it the barbed? It's the barbed wire. I will admit it's a little bit difficult to see the trenches, whatnot, when you're zoomed out like so. We got a Panda Grenadier over here. But you see we are starting to take back the fort, so to speak, and we're pushing back. And really at this point it's probably just going to be a bit of a turkey shoot. Do need to get some more anti-air, however, because those airplanes are kind of getting a bit annoying. You see our Panzer IV, I don't know where the hell he's shooting, but if you look at his field of view, he's got a lovely little kill zone on the area, and that's what I mean about the range of units. It's really quite nuts, especially with the amount of different elevation, as SD-44 for the most part was a pretty goddamn flat game. And now you can get crazy shots like that, where I didn't even expect the Panzer IV to be able to shoot over here. Also, our leader units, Panda Grenadier Fuhrers, do come in the AT half-tracks. That is kind of nice. Let's get some reinforcements up here. We're like a machine gun. Yeah, don't really have a machine gun team. Let's get Panda Strikes. And why not a Panda Boiser over here? Why not? But you see in the trenches, it's really cool. The infantry, they use the goddamn trench. If I tell them to move over here, they run along the trench. It's pretty good animation, right? I do want to show the infantry animations crossing barbed wires. It's absolutely hilarious. Hilarious in a good way. So you see, I told them to move like over here. They're going to go through the trench first, because that makes bloody sense. They're not just going to go directly towards it and beeline. They treat the trench like when you do an attack move through forest. But as you see, when they get towards the barbed wire, they slow down and they actually crawl under it. It's really cool. I mean, Eugene's infantry animations have never been amazing, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And then they, get back up again and go pretty fast. And also infantry, like the squads in general. Like if we just look at how the infantry squad moves, it's much more dynamic. It's no longer the circles from War Game or kind of like the weird blob of units and SD44. You see, they all change positions. You know, they all get ahead and slow down from one another. It looks really dynamic. I mean, it's not exactly a strict formation, of course. I think they'd probably be sticking in a strict formation if this was the actual World War II military. Don't quote me on that. But it looks really cool. Just in general, this game looks fucking fantastic. Like, I just want to zoom around the map real fast a little bit. Because, like, apart from the capture zones not disappearing when you zoom in, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, the buildings, the landscape, there's a lot of detail. There's tomatoes, which I don't think really grow in a Belarusian climate. You know, you got the smoke off in the distance of stuff that's been blown up. Wreck of a T-34. This game is fucking beautiful. I just gotta state it out there. The effects, the sound design is much better. As you actually hear like the engines of the tanks idling. I mean, the machine gun sounds and the fire sounds are no longer, are not really that great. They haven't really improved much on that. But the game looks fine. I'm absolutely in shock. Like, if we go over, where is it? Go over here. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. I know there's a battle going on. We could be looking at, you know, units blowing up. But this windmill, it moves. I mean, this is the windmill physics, the windmill meta in SD2 is infinitely better compared to SD44. Just look at that bad boy go. Just look at it. He is an absolute champ of a windmill for sure. For bloody sure. We've got some artillery being dropped. I don't have a lot of points because I've just been sitting around doing nothing. But we're still running because it's medium AI. And AI is still pretty brain dead. As in SD44 War Game, etc. Hopefully it gets a bit better for the campaign, as you pretty much be fighting AI the entire time in the campaign. I'll just do a little bit more of a zoom around. As I really just want to showcase how good this game looks. And also, really feels like you can zoom in much closer to units and whatnot now. And also the grass this is, you know, good grass compared to SD44. But yeah, it's just the skybox, the sunset. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. There's a bit of popping and like textures on. Some of the textures still need a little bit of refinement, especially in some units. But for the most part, the game looks bang on. Absolutely bang on. So how can we fix this problem in the middle? Let's get another Tiger. Yeah, Tiger's pretty much just holding down the fort. I'm kind of happy it's not, you know, proper hard matches. This is really more a showcase than anything. I hope you guys understand. Let's actually get some artillery, dudes. Let's showcase artillery. So let's get 2 Vesps. Go over here. Come on, Tiger Tank. You can kill. I can't even penetrate you. As a T-34-76 can only do 100mm of penetration at max range, or close range. And the Tiger actually has 125mm of armor, which is quite surprising. I think it's also because they include the turret into like the armor calculations, even though we all know the frontal armor of a Tiger is only 100mm. But it's definitely interesting. The one thing I'm not entirely happy about with the unit armor penetration, armor value icons, is that it shows you the armor penetration at 100 meters. As it is to penetrate 165mm of armor at 100 meters, which is nice and all. That's cool. But I'm usually engaging things from 2 kilometers. It'd be nicer to know, or 1.5 kilometers in that case. It'd be nice to know what the max penetration was at maximum range, like with SD44, where it showed you the penetration value from the max range of the gun. But hopefully it's something that gets changed, because it's kind of tough to judge on a rim compared to SD44. Are we on range? Or we just need to get a little bit closer instead of his command chain I've been talking about for a while. Gotta get the command chain up. We've gotta get those leaders. Let's get a leader Tiger over here, because why not? God damn, it's not in the command chain. It's quite nice. It shows you which leader unit is the closest. So we're gonna move you around a little bit. Get the AT gun half track in position. I want to place you so you got. Yeah, let's place you up here. It's even got an angle on that road if you put them up here. There's also a crick hunt or crick attack move where it does a fast move and then it uses pretty much just an attack move, but instead of just trying to do the stealthiest rate, just does the fastest rate to the target, which is cool. There's also a fission shot, which I haven't really showcased. Essentially, the unit will hold fire until it has at least 40% chance to hit and 40% chance to penetrate. I believe if we go in options, we can actually adjust this value, so if we want to wait for him to get like 80% chance to hit and 80% chance to penetrate, we could do that. But it's definitely, it's a really good feature in general. It allows you to set up ambushes much more simpler, especially with AT guns. If you can just have an AT gun hold fire until it's got an actual good chance to hit something. So, okay, here's our two rasps. And we see we have this aura around our units. This is around the leader units and the artillery observer. As you see, if we shoot something within the aura, it's pretty accurate. Over here, however, very inaccurate. So let's give these Gavadas a very nasty time with a lot of big booms from far away. But as you can see here, our units are being, these Earth's troop and have 2-star veterancy, all thanks to the fact that its leader unit is connected to the commander unit, and it's a really big deal how easy it is to do that. Bunkers are just going to a town. The Russians aren't exactly doing a little bit of artillery now. Usually, I find meta rise, a lot of Russian players, they just get a lot of Katyushas, as you can kill tigers with Katyushas pretty efficiently. Like, really, really bloody efficiently. Let's get this closer. Just set the chain of command. We need a chain of command. God damn, you out of range? Okay, let's get you over here, at least. Oh no, we kind of want you over here. I've buggered it, Panther and Deer Fury. I don't know, I feel like the command chain radius would be a little bit longer for units. I think maybe I'm just being a bit biased at the moment because I'm not wanting to get as many leader units. But it's definitely interesting. I still really like the feature. And it's not really that annoying. I mean, it does look a little bit annoying having to like move everything around. But once it's all set up, it looks really cool. And if I lose like this leader unit, for example, the whole chain gets cut off, so it's very important now to keep leader units alive. Which, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Let's get some infantry reinforcements over here. Maybe like a machine gun. Maybe like another tiger, you know, because we've got ridiculous amount of incumbency phase. Like, there's no way gonna break through, because we can just spam tiger after tiger after tiger. We can buy all our tigers right now, which is a little bit ridiculous. Let's bring a tiger into a forest, because why not? Why not? Let's get some pioneers in here as well. Machine gun bunker. Barely has... Oh, he is meant to shoot. Must be a big hitbox in that guard unit or something, jeez. They haven't tried to hit his hard point yet, really. Which is good for us. And our machine gun bunker's getting flanked. Yeah, we definitely need those reinforcements in there. Let's get a flak 88 here. Flak 88 here. Do some counter battery. And yeah, we'll just get some planes. I mean, there's not really too much to do. I mean, we're about to win in 3 minutes or so. And there's pretty much no way they can come back from this. Basically, the AI didn't really pose that much of a challenge. Once again, this is really more of a showcase, not meant to be exactly dead on thrilling intense pro MLG. I'm trying to think of other synonyms and adjectives. Gameplay. I've had before getting a hit, yeah. There we go. Chain of command properly set up in that position. Our AT gun half track is a bit pants dealing with infantry. Feeling his little Pack 36. But yeah. Got a good kill here. Got a Flak 88 set up. And there we go. Yeah, we just got really efficient kill zones set up. Probably need to get some more Panda Grenadiers. Never mind. Match over. GG. And we got a pretty nice victory screen. No, actually, never mind. The text is really hard to read on here. I can barely make it out. Pretty much the same team stats, and so do the chronology of the match, just like in history. You see kills, it's received Panda Grenadiers, pretty good. Panda 4 Fura, damn, knocked out a lot of stuff. Yeah, now Tiger, Mr. Valdix, and same with losses and an experience. And that's pretty much a quick overview of the ST2 beta. To be entirely honest with you, right now in its current state, the balance of the game is completely rack with a W. Yeah, it is. I know it sounds a bit weird when I say it. It's not. Yeah. In terms of balance, as you saw, it's a lot of things. The heavy tanks being really good, artillery. I don't really say it in this case, but artillery being really powerful. The sea phase income just being completely nuts. Even if that was only 230 points compared to the 345, thanks to the income bonus and breakthrough, we can still get 2 Tigers a minute in sea phase. And considering that with no time limit, every match is pretty much going to go to sea phase. It really just comes down more to a war of attrition rather than, you know, trying to play it phase by phase. It's interesting. It's really interesting that I'm trying to get rid of the time limit in its honesty, because effectively in its current state, there's no A phase or B phase rushes. You can't win the match by doing a cheesy A phase desert rat, half track rush along a flank and just capture a bunch of territory and win. But it's way too C phase heavily focused at the moment, and that's also not good. That's pretty bad as well. So that's what I mean by the balance being out of rack in general. Like this is all stuff that needs to get tuned and fixed, and hopefully everyone now inputting their data on it, Eugene will get off their arse and try to fix these issues. But in terms of overall mechanics, the overall basic structure of the game, the commander system, the larger unit variety, the deck building system, it's all really good. I honestly think this will be a fantastic game when it releases. Currently, it's not all that fun to play after a few matches. There's only 2 divisions as well, where it's kind of gets a bit stale when you know exactly who you're going to be fighting. But it's a work in progress. It's a beta, of course. This is truly a beta. This isn't like when it was fancy betas, which was really just a 1 month before demo. It's just meant to entice you to pre-order the game. It is pretty nitty gritty. I mean, the menu screen is a little bit basic at the moment. Hopefully, I mean, it's a nice menu screen, but it's a bit static. Really, let's say go back to like a war game, Allied Battle, Red Dragon menu screen with all the moving stuff in the background. But yeah, it's still Division 2, the beta at the moment as of March 27th. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and gave you a good overview on what Steel Division 2 is in its current state. And well, as usual guys, please just take it easy.